This program is brought to you by Ministry of Education and Vocational Training, UNICEF, and the Global Partnership for Education.
It is ready. The water is boiling.
What do you mean by boiling?
Dear listener, can you tell your friend the meaning of boiling? Good. My dear listener, how are you? I'm fine too, and I'm happy to be with you today in our science program. You will be with me, Mr. Hamad.
Look, the water is so hot and it starts to become vapor. Be quick, we want to go to the shop. What did you buy from the shop?
I bought an ice cream, but it's hard like an ice. I wonder, why?
Dear listener, can you tell us why an ice cream becomes hard like an ice? Okay, try.
I know why. It's because it was kept in a freezer for a long time.
I know that, but I think there must be something causing it to become hard like an ice.
You are right, and I think so too. What could it be?
Dear listener, what could cause an ice cream to become hard like an ice?
I think the ice cream gets cold and then freezes to become hard like an ice.
Very good. Dear listener, tell me other things that can get cold and then freeze to become hard like ice.
Liquid things like water or juice become hard like an ice when they get cold and freeze.
Wonderful! Yes, liquid things. Do you know how we call liquid things when they become hard like an ice? Correct. We call them solid. We call them what?
Solid.
Good. So, dear listener, what state does a liquid become when it freezes?
When a liquid gets cold and then freezes, it becomes solid.
Brilliant. All of you say brilliant, brilliant, and brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, and brilliant.
Can I ask a question, please?
Of course you can. Dear listener, listen to the question carefully, then get ready to answer it.
What makes a liquid cold and then freeze?
Alright, let me help you. Temperature makes a liquid cold and then freezes to become solid. Temperature makes a liquid cold and then freezes to become solid. Now, say it quietly 2 times. Very good. Dear listener, do you think how much temperature does a liquid need to freeze and becomes solid? You say how much? Alright, a liquid needs a temperature of 0 degrees centigrade to freeze and becomes solid? Let us say it together, please. 1, 2, 3. A liquid needs a temperature of 0 degrees centigrade to freeze and becomes solid. A liquid needs a temperature of 0 degrees centigrade to freeze and becomes solid. Very good. Now say it quietly. Well done. Dear listener, liquid freezes when a temperature is at 0 degrees centigrade. How can we call this?
Can we call it a freezing point?
Dear listener, what do you think? Yes, it is called a freezing point. Dear listener, I will spell the word freezing point and you will write it. F R E E Z I N G. Freezing. P O I N T. Point. Freezing point. Let us read together. 1, 2, 3. Freezing point. Again. Freezing point. Very good. Dear listener, clap 3 times and say freezing point, and freezing point. 1, 2, 3.
Freezing point, and freezing point.
So, what is the meaning of a freezing point?
Dear listener, think about the meaning of a freezing point, then tell us.
Freezing point is the temperature at which a liquid turns into a solid state when cold.
Excellent. Dear listener, repeat the meaning quietly.
I know a liquid also turns into vapor, but I don't remember how. Please remind me.
Oh, I will ask my friend to tell you.
Dear listener, please tell your friend how a liquid can turn into vapor.
I do remember now. I think a liquid turns into vapor when it's boiled.
Brilliant! A liquid turns into vapor when it is boiled.
Okay, does it also need a temperature to boil?
Dear listener, do you think a liquid needs temperature to boil? You do think so? Very good. Clap 5 times. 1, 2, 3. Good! Dear listener, how much temperature do you think is needed for a liquid to boil and turns into vapor? All right. Now tell me. Excellent. A liquid needs a temperature of 100 degrees centigrade to boil and turns into vapor. A liquid needs a temperature of 100 degrees centigrade to boil and turns into vapor. Now, repeat the sentence. 1, 2, 3.
A liquid needs a temperature of 100 degrees centigrade to boil and turns into vapor. A liquid needs a temperature of 100 degrees centigrade to boil and turns into vapor.
Well done! Dear listener, a liquid boils and turns into vapor at a temperature of 100 degrees centigrade. How can we call this?
It is a boiling point. We can call it a boiling point.
Dear listener, do you think it is correct to call it a boiling point? Yes, it is correct. It is called a boiling point. Please say brilliant, brilliant, and brilliant. 1, 2, 3. Brilliant, brilliant, and brilliant. Dear listener, I will spell the word boiling point and you will write it in your book. B O I L I N G. Boiling. P O I N T. Point. Boiling point. Let us read the word together. 1, 2, 3.
Boiling point.
Again.
Boiling point.
Well done. Dear listener, close your eyes and think of the water when it is boiling. Alright, now open your eyes and try to give me the meaning of a boiling point.
I think boiling point is a temperature at which a liquid boils and turns into vapor.
Excellent! Boiling point is the temperature at which a liquid boils and turns into vapor. Dear listener, repeat the meaning. Boiling point is the temperature at which a liquid boils and turns into vapor. Well done. Clap 3 times and say, well done, and well done. 1, 2, 3.
Well done, and well done. When I get home, I will put my juice into the fridge and check if it really freezes at temperature of 0 degrees centigrade.
I will boil water and try to check if it really boils at the temperature of 100 degrees centigrade.
Very good. Dear listener, and I will give you the following exercise to do after the program. Please copy it. Number 1. Write the meaning of a boiling point. Write the meaning of a boiling point. Number 2. At which temperature does the liquid boil and turns into vapor? At which temperature does the liquid boil and turns into vapor? Number 3. Give the meaning of a freezing point. Give the meaning of a freezing point. Number 4. At which temperature does a liquid freeze and turns into solid? At which temperature does a liquid freeze and turns into solid? Dear listener, we will close here for today. You are with me, Mr. Ahmad. Until the next time, bye-bye.